Hello, Ryan.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Good. Long time no chat. The last
I
time we talked,
know. I
it's
know.
been
I'm
a
excited
bit.
to see you again.
So let's get into this because I have 15 minutes with you. The
Sure.
last time we talked, it was in July. It was for the Pride podcast. And you weren't sure what was going on with production, like when it was going to start, if it was going to start. Take me through what happened.
Well, we did it. Spoiler. We went back. There was like 1 month where LA was pretty chill in terms of coronavirus cases and production was allowed back up. And then we shot for a month. We had like 4 episodes left. And then right when we wrapped, then the cases started to climb and then we had our winter surge. So I feel like we literally snuck in for the brief window of shooting because we had no, not to brag, we had no positive corona test results on set. But then after we wrapped, I had a lot of friends who were shooting and said that it was like actual, just like commonplace to get positive uh,
Oh my
test
gosh.
results.
So that had to have been somewhat nerve-wracking because you're on this time crunch. How was that for you? I mean, you're the writer, producer, actor. You had so much stress doing this. How did that go for you?
I think I was just excited to like go back to work and do something. I think it was like I relished the opportunity to kind of have a place to go to every day and be busy and not be thinking about the crumbling world that we live in, but focus all that energy of existential dread and make some art out of it, question mark. I and I think also we were so starving for human connection because we'd all been alone for many months that like being with a lot of people, well, kind of borderline terrifying, was also just really healing. And it was just I felt honestly privileged to be able to go back to work and be able to make something in this hellish time.
So, how was shooting season two compared to season one? Obviously, it was a totally different world. Do you feel like was the vibe on set still fun? Did you still have a good time?
Yes, I run a fun set.
I'm sure.
I mean, no, I mean, I think, season one, I think was such a vibe and such a moment because I had never done this before. And we were all kind of just thrust into this environment in Austin, Texas. I was away from my home and it kind of felt like summer camp. It was really fun. I mean, our hours were insane because we were shooting so many pages a day. And then somehow I had like the energy to like go out almost every night with the cast members and like have fun. I truly feel like maybe I've aged like 40 years between season one and season two because season two was very much like, okay, we're wrapped. And then I'm going straight to bed because I'm so exhausted. But season two was amazing because we got to shoot in LA, which is obviously where the show takes place. So we even had access to such amazing talent. I think that was the one thing I got really excited about was that our cast was just such a banger, like because by virtue of shooting here rather than Austin. So that was really exciting. And also, I just think the show looks better because, again, it takes place in LA and now we're actually in LA. So, yeah, it was always really fun. And I think that when we came back from the pandemic, it was like, I think everyone at first was a little like uneasy and not sure how to be. And then immediately we just like clicked into a groove. And again, I think everyone just felt such gratitude to be able to go somewhere every day and kind of escape.
Yeah, I mean, I loved season two. I just finished it last night, full
Oh,
transparency. So I
good.
really loved it. And I loved having the longer episodes. I loved all of the relationships. One of the questions I had was out of all of the cast that joined for season two, who was your favorite person to work with? And obviously everyone's wonderful, but who's your absolute like, wow, that was really great.
Oh, I think I actually have two. So Curran Sony plays Kim's brother. He's only in 2 episodes, but he is so fucking funny. And Curran's also a writer and just an improv genius. So he started improving all these lines that were so psychotic. Did you pick up on like the weird incest vibe between that was Curran. Curran literally the first scene he shot, he was like, God, mom, you look fucking hot today. And I was like, okay, that is disturbing. Slash, I'm gonna write 80 jokes in that incest area. And so working with Curran was so amazing, especially because we didn't have many scenes together. So I actually could just like write behind the camera and feed him all these funny lines. And he just like knocked every single one out of the park. And then Jeremy Glazer played Mark, the fetishist from episode two. I did not know Jeremy. I mean, usually, honestly, most of the people we work with, I kind of know in some capacity. A lot of them are my friends. But Jeremy was someone I'd never met before, and I didn't even know anyone who knew him, which in the gay world is shocking. But he did such an amazing audition. And our first scene together was the sex scene, which was like really being thrown into the deep end. And Jeremy was so amazing and kind and considerate. It was like shocking. I was like, wait, we're literal strangers and yet we're getting naked together, but yet you're like shepherding me into this scene and out of the scene so beautifully. Like I had such immense gratitude for him because that was such a difficult scene to shoot and he made it so incredible. So that was also a highlight, which could have easily been a low light.
No, I loved it. Could you talk a little bit about the freedom that you had for season 2? And I'm not saying that you didn't for season 1, but the episodes were shorter. They're so much longer now and they feel so much bigger. On top of that, I feel like they're a little bit, I want to say racier, right? Like there's this one shot, I think it's in episode 2, where the camera pans out as, I'm trying to think of the character's name because I binged the whole show, but he's standing there naked talking about how beautiful his penis or pretty his penis is. And it just keeps going out and out. And I'm
that's
like,
Charlie.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
So that shot was my director, Anna DeCosa's idea. I think she was inspired by D'Angelo's How Does It Feel music video, which, remember that video? I think every gay kid,
Yes.
pretty seminal. Yeah, it is pretty racy. And I think also because like I wasn't the only one getting naked this season. I think like I definitely, Poonam definitely goes there this season with Charlie. I felt really, really amazing. I think the constraints on season 1 were so intense with the 15-minute episodes. I just felt like I had to pack so much character development in. And I just felt like there was always this invisible clock going tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And so 30 minutes by extension felt like a vacation at Club Med. I just felt like I could luxuriate. I could let these moments breathe more. I felt like the journey wasn't so like truncated. So it felt really, really liberating. Also, we got to dive more into the character of Kim, which was the major impetus behind expanding it to half an hour, was that in season 1, she's incredible, but she really kind of serves Ryan, the character. We don't really see her outside of Ryan. So season 2, I really, really wanted to correct that because I think Kim is such an amazing character, and also Poonam Patel is such a gifted actress that you just want to keep throwing her things because, she'll just like kill it. So I'm really, really happy that this season feels a little bit more well-rounded with the characters.
I definitely feel like everyone has the opportunity to shine in this. Not that she didn't in season 1, like the pool scenes, I love. I think she's just brilliant. But here it's even better. So obviously this is the last season, which I was pretty sad about. And I already have like a sore spot for some of my favorite shows getting canceled on Netflix. And so I'm a little bit bitter about it. How did it feel shooting it? Did you know when you were going into it that it was the last season? Did you not? Because the vibe for the entire season is so energetic and so fun. It doesn't feel like it should be the last season.
Well, there is a funeral in season 2, not to spoil anything, but you're right. It didn't feel like a funeral. It felt more like a wedding. Here's the deal. Like, I found out immediately that we were not coming back for season 3. Like when we got renewed, they also said that season 2 would be the final season. And of course that was sad. And I was upset about that, but also getting the opportunity to craft a final season where I could really finish the story in a complete way and take the characters to their final resting place felt amazing. I think that if season 2, I was still like, oh, I don't know, season 3, fingers crossed. And then potentially didn't go back for season 3, I think that would have hurt a lot more because it would have felt unfinished. But this season, and you can attest because you finished it, it really does feel final, doesn't it? I mean, it's like, don't they end up kind of in nice places?
Much more than many other Netflix shows that just end and you're like, what?
Right, exactly.
No, this ends well, but I'm sad that it ends.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, here's the deal. Like, I am sad as well, but this show has been with me for 6 years. We started pitching it in 2015 and took 4 years to get made, and then 2 years because of COVID between seasons 1 and 2. So it's been a huge part of my life for a very, very long time. And usually when you live with a show for 6 years, you get 6 seasons out of it. And I got 1.5 seasons. So as hard as it is to say goodbye, I'm kind of ready for the next chapter.
I get that. I completely get it. Well, I mean, I feel like you are, pardon my French, but just such a fucking badass, what you just did and what you brought to Netflix. And I enjoyed it so much. There were even moments, especially in season 1, where I really legitimately was moved by it. What are you working on now? What should we expect from you? What is next?
Well, I wrote a book. I wrote a novel, so that's coming out next year. And I'm working on the film adaptation of that movie, of the novel where I would star in it. So that's in the works. I also sold a show to HBO Max called Accessible, which we're waiting to hear back to see if it's going to get picked up. And I'm also writing for the Queer as Folk reboot.
Which I did hear about that, and it is so exciting. I cannot wait for that. And I'm so glad that you're part of it because you're so clever and your writing is just such great quality for queer, especially because queer media doesn't have a lot of that. Not that it doesn't have a lot, and yours
Right.
always is, which makes it really exciting. Without giving any spoilers to anyone, I was wondering if there are any scenes or any Easter eggs that you'd like to, have audiences keep an eye out for, even just inspo that you had from other things that someone might notice, like, oh, that was totally an ode to X, Y, and Z in season 2.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know if anyone would pick up on anything, but there is one scene that I feel like I blatantly ripped off, which is in the end of episode 2, Ryan takes a bath, spoiler, and this radio department song, Keen on Boys, plays. And I exactly stole that from Marie Antoinette, because in Marie Antoinette, she takes a bath and then Keen on Boys plays. And I remember watching it in the theater being like, this is so beautiful. This is like the perfect song for someone taking a bath. And I want to do that one day. And I just completely stole it. Now, granted, special, it's different because Ryan is literally scrubbing his scars, which Marie Antoinette did not do. But it's definitely like my little homage to like my little Kirsten Dunst fandom.
Out of everything in season 1 and season 2, what are you going to miss most about making this show?
I'm gonna miss giving people jobs because I like have such a hard on for employing people. That's one thing I'm gonna really miss. I'm gonna miss working with our cast and crew because I mean I feel like everyone says this, like, hey Becky, we're so good. We're like a fucking family, blah blah blah. You're like, okay, actually you kind of low-key hate each other. But I got really, really close with everybody on set. I mean, I think when something isn't like, there's not a ton of money, blah, 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 you just know that everyone is there for the right reasons. Everyone there is to make something meaningful. So I just feel like it weeds out anyone that's there for the wrong reasons. And it was so nice to be able to hopefully create a positive culture and make everyone feel supported and loved. And I'm going to miss going to work every day, being surrounded by amazing people.
Was there, because obviously this is kind of your first big, I mean, I'm sure you've done lots of acting throughout your life, whether or not it was on television, but this is your first huge thing. In season 2, were you more comfortable? Because like you said, you show a lot more skin, you have a lot more sex scenes. It's a lot more, like Ryan has a lot more fun. Was it hard? No pun intended. Like,
yeah, no, yeah. Well, actually, I'd never acted before, especially as my first acting job. I mean, I'd been acting as straight up until the age of 17. I wasn't good at that job, got fired, had to become gay. Then I acted as not disabled from the ages of 20 to 27. But this was my actual first real acting job on a TV show. So I didn't have much experience. I definitely felt way more confident than in season 2, although the bar is low. Season 1, I felt terrified the entire way. I was like, I literally don't know how to do this. How am I doing this? How am I doing this? But season 2, I kind of felt like I fell into the groove. I knew who this character was. I mean, obviously I created him, but like I knew how to inhabit him. It was just a lot easier. I just felt, and also just again, like the schedule wasn't as punishing as season 1. Like we weren't shooting as many pages. So everything felt a little bit more chill. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, I am so excited for everyone else to see it. It premieres on Netflix, I believe, on the 20th. Is that right?
Yeah.
So everyone needs to catch it there. Binge the first season, binge the second season. Ryan, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I loved catching up with you, and I cannot wait for your next project.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. No worries. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Like this video? Follow us for more.